Tonight on 7 News, shark attack tragedy at Dee Why. A father dies surfing close to shore. All beaches from Manly to Narrabeen still closed.
Wedding Inferno, a historic Hawkesbury venue destroyed. The owner's son burned trying to fight the flames.
$1 million reward, lucrative new bait to catch the fugitive cop killer.
Ready for war, Donald Trump dumps woke name, telling the world America is armed and ready.
Nepean Hospital overhaul, $1 billion boost for Western Sydney Health.
And the Giants put on a show to remember against Hawthorn, but it's not quite enough while the Panthers lock in a do-or-die finals clash.
Live from Sydney, 7 News with Michael Usher and Angie Azimus.
Good evening. It's been an horrific day on our northern beaches. A 57-year-old man mauled by a shark close to shore while surfing with mates, dying before he could be pulled from the water. It happened at Dee Why, just near Longreef Beach, and the beaches from Manly to Narrabeen now closed for at least the next 24 hours.
He's been identified as husband and father Mercury Salakis, an identical twin, the brothers well known on the beaches. And a warning, our report shows vision in the water of that attack.
This is the shocking moment the shark strikes. The water starts spraying in the air and continues for another 10 horrifying seconds.
And as a result of that, he lost a number of limbs. His colleagues managed to make it back to the beach safely.
The victim, Mercury Salakis, 57 years old, father and husband, a self-described elite athlete, Northern Beaches, born and bred.
He was just a good bloke to everyone. I don't think you'll find anyone on this beach have a bad word to say about him.
His mate Sean snapped Mercury at the beach only yesterday.
He helped out with everything. He's just a great guy.
Heartbroken family and friends consoled by police as they arrived at the scene, confirming the unbelievable.
The gentleman is an experienced surfer. He was there with a number of mates. It was and he'd only been in the water for about half an hour at the time.
Just after 10 this morning, a surfer is seen desperately running towards the surf club house as news spreads of a man taken 100 metres offshore. More surfers run to the scene, followed by the surf patrol.
Attempts to save his life were unsuccessful, and we understand he leaves behind a wife and a young daughter, and obviously tomorrow being Father's Day, it's particularly critical and particularly tragic.
The area taped off as officers start inquiries with government officials to work out what type of shark was involved. Police say the victim's board was snapped in half.
I think it's going to send shockwaves through the community. I think everyone's going to be a little bit nervous for a while.
A tagged great white was detected off North Narrabeen, just north of Dee Why, at 8:31 last night.
No, I've been living here for 15 years. Never had this sort of event before in here. Pretty safe beach.
3 drum lines were set with bait off Dee Why this morning. They lure sharks to be tagged for tracking. Since the attack, another 2 drum lines have been set. The beach also has a shark net. As a precaution, Dee Why Beach will be shut until at least Monday, possibly longer. All beaches from Narrabeen to Manly are closed until at least tomorrow.
For the local community, it's just heartbreaking. It's one of those things that you don't think that it will ever happen to you.
I literally just walking along, sort of holding my heart. It's so sad.
We have our team out on the coast tonight. Let's go first to Tom Saker. Tom, it's been quite a while since a shark attack at Dee Why.
Michael, it's been 91 years since the last shark attack here at Dee Why Beach. In 1934, an 18-year-old swimmer was fatally mauled. In 2012, someone was knocked off their board by a shark, but no one was hurt on that occasion. Now, jet skis, helicopters and boats have been searching for this shark all day, but with no luck so far. With the light fading as we speak, they've called off the search for now, but it will resume tomorrow.
All right, Tom, thank you.
Now to Zoe Martin at Bondi Beach. Zoe, this will reignite debate about the effectiveness of shark nets and drumlines.
Yes, Angie, 51 beaches had shark nets installed just days ago from Newcastle to Wollongong, including here in Bondi as well as Dee Why. As we heard, drumlines were also in place this morning, but both measures were ultimately ineffective. Even following today's tragic attack, beachgoers we spoke to were largely in favour of getting rid of shark nets. Marine biologists telling us they're outdated and worthless.
When it comes to shark nets, they don't work. We've had a recent scientific study that showed that the rate of shark bites is no different at a netted beach versus an unnetted beach. But what can really make the difference are evidence-based measures.
One beach from both Manly and Waverley councils have been asked to remove the shark nets as part of a state government trial, but no word tonight whether that trial will be still going ahead. Angie.
Zoe Martin reporting from Bondi. A heartbreaking day for would-be newlyweds and a venue owner after a wild inferno destroyed a historic reception centre in the Hawkesbury.
Dozens of fire trucks were dispatched, but the blaze ripped through the buildings. The son of the owner badly burned trying to save the family business.
What was one of the Hawkesbury's most iconic places to say I do. This is Loxley on Bellbird Hill at 7 o'clock last night.
It was a top-line conference wedding centre. Not anymore. We ended up with probably about 20 fire trucks, 70, 80 people. No way we're going to save it.
4 staff members were here at the time. The owner's son suffered burns to his face trying to extinguish the fire.
He raced back in and they were screaming at him to try and get him back out.
Firefighters worked through the night to bring the blaze under control.
Thankfully, the site had a large pool and 2 large water tanks to which firefighters were able to utilise.
Brides like Emily Myers now left scrambling.
You just go, this can't be real. We're emailing places, but I mean, peak wedding season, what are we going to find? It was just a beautiful venue. It had such charm, and the gardens and the buildings.
The property dates back to the 1830s. The owners devastated.
She's been trying her best to get in contact with all the brides, and her heart goes out to us and ours go out to her.
For couples dreaming of getting married against a stunning view, this is now a heartbreaking sight, with police and fire investigators now trying to work out how the blaze began, with early reports suggesting it may have started in a fireplace.
Our heart does go out to not only those who were celebrating and who have celebrated here, but also to the owners.
Amy Clements, 7 News.
2 vandals have now been charged after damaging Sydney's Anzac Memorial. It's alleged the men in their 60s sprayed a substance on the walls and steps of the monument that is hard to remove. After police released vision of the moments around the vandalism, the pair handed themselves into police. They faced court this morning and were given conditional bail. They'll appear again next week.
Victorian police have put up a major incentive in the hunt for accused police killer Desi Freeman, but insist it's not an act of desperation. Live to Inga Nielsen in Porpunka. Inga, $1 million is now on the line.
That's right, Angie. It's the largest reward ever offered for an arrest in Victoria as the search for Desi Freeman now enters its 12th night. Police don't know if he's on his own or if he's being helped. They don't even know if he's dead or alive. But one thing is clear, they can't find him. In this quiet country town, police believe someone knows where Desi Freeman is, and they're willing to pay to find out.
It is the largest reward for an arrest in the history of Victoria Police.
$1 million bounty for the accused cop killer. Police trying everything to find him, but they insist this isn't an act of desperation.
We've had hundreds of calls come through to us, and we continue to investigate those.
I think what the police have announced this morning is a bit of a game changer.
It should be busy, but Desi Freeman has made the area a ghost town.
The sooner he's caught, the sooner it comes to a safe resolution, we'll get back on with our lives.
The effect this is having on us is no different to a natural disaster.
Those who know Desi Freeman say he should turn himself in. One mate believes that should come with certain conditions.
I think he needs to get out in the public and tell them what happened from his perspective before he hands himself in.
Despite the huge price tag for Desi's arrest, there's no guarantee he's still alive. Hiding in mine shafts and caves in the bush is fraught with danger. While experts say it's possible, if he's out here, his chance of survival is becoming slimmer by the day.
There's often water in it, there's often animals in there, there's often mould. It's not a hospitable place to be for a long time.
Dead or alive, the search for Desi Freeman is now $1 million manhunt. Inga Nielsen, 7 News.
Police are investigating another car set alight in our western suburbs. Residents in Auburn were woken by a car erupting into flames. Emergency services finding a Toyota SUV well alight around 3 a.m.
I went to sleep at 1, but then I woke up at like 3:30 because like everyone was like screaming and I was like, I didn't know what was going on. And then I heard them say like, oh, there's a fire. And I was like, huh, a fire.
A dramatic scene, but thankfully no one was injured.
A 45-year-old man's been charged after allegedly trying to detain another man in a burning house in Doonside. Police forced their way into the Wangara Street home yesterday morning, pulling the pair out and taking them to hospital. Now the 45-year-old's being charged with damaging property and detaining a person and had a bedside hearing yesterday. He'll face court again next week.
Federal Energy Minister Chris Bowen has played down prospects for electric vehicle owners paying a road users tax anytime soon. Let's go live to Tim Lester in Canberra. Tim, good evening. Is the government cooling on this idea of a tax for EV drivers?
Well, Michael, they're not yet suggesting they're going to dump the idea, but they are talking down expectations of how quickly they can do it. Electric vehicle users, of course, do not contribute to road maintenance in the same way as other drivers do. That, of course, is fuel excise, more than 50 cents a litre. That's forecast to raise $17.7 billion this year. The government has said it wants a fair way for EV owners to contribute, but this today from Minister Chris Bowen.
Inevitably, this work will take a long period of time to work through, so you've got to start it. The road user charge isn't being introduced now, this year, or in coming months.
As well, state and federal treasurers now say that the new charge must not deter the uptake of electric vehicles.
Tim Lister there in Canberra. Thank you.
Donald Trump has sent an ominous warning to his adversaries, renaming the Department of Defence the Department of War. The president says the reband projects strength and victory, but critics say it'll be used by America's enemies to paint the US as a warmongering threat to international stability.
Donald Trump undoes decades of tradition.
I think that's a big one.
His 200th executive order launching a major rebrand, renaming the Defence Department the Department of War, winding the clock back to 1947, the last time the title was used.
I think it's a much more appropriate name, especially in light of where the world is right now.
A world where China, Iran, North Korea and Russia are friends. The president's newly anointed Secretary of War is on board.
We're going to go on offense, not just on defense. Maximum lethality, not tepid legality. Violent effect, not politically correct.
His department uploading videos advertising the change almost immediately.
It doesn't change the mission, but it does change the tone.
A provocative tone that's at odds with Donald Trump's efforts to paint himself as the peacemaker president, worthy of the Nobel Peace Prize.
We solved 7 wars.
The Russia-Ukraine battle, though, is proving much harder. Vladimir Putin now threatening other European leaders, telling them not to send soldiers to Ukraine before a peace deal is reached.
If some troops appear there, especially now during military operations, these will be legitimate targets for destruction.
An ominous warning, despite assurances from the so-called coalition of the willing, Western forces would only be deployed after the fighting stopped. In the United States, Rob Scott, 7 News.
Hospital patients in our western suburbs will soon be able to experience world-class medical facilities much closer to home. A major redevelopment of Nepean Hospital is taking shape, and we've been given an exclusive look at what to expect.
Taking shape, Nepean Hospital's big build. When it was still a concept, the hospital's new grand entrance. Now, that's quickly becoming a reality.
Wow, it's incredible. What I would see is the gateway to care.
Stage 2 of a $1 billion boost to Sydney's increasingly critical health hub. A former health minister is the head of the board.
We are the teaching hospital on the western fringe of Sydney. Next stop, Perth out there.
A new intensive care unit, nuclear medicine, paediatric beds. The top floor, a new palliative care centre for end-of-life support.
Patients of Western Sydney deserve to have the care provided in their local health district.
Born at Nepean Hospital, surgeon Daniel Vagg has returned to work in it.
I love the area, I love the people I work with, I love the institution.
Matt Roger has MS, part of a community team helping with the hospital's design.
How to get around the place. How to make it easy for someone in a wheelchair like myself to get around.
construction due for completion by the end of next year. And then there's the challenge of attracting staff. Nepean Hospital confident it's a case of build it and they will come. Nurses and the biggest challenge, medical specialists.
I'm confident that we're growing the workforce that'll meet the demands of that hospital.
That started on this site in the 1950s and has come so far.
This place represents opportunity that's not provided elsewhere.
Chris Marr, 7 News.
There were some scary moments today for residents in Dean Park as a small bushfire crept uncomfortably close to their properties. Rural Fire Service crews were quickly on the scene and it was under control without any damage being done. There's no word yet on what sparked that blaze.
What a day of footy. The Giants might have been bundled out of the AFL finals, but they managed to put on a performance to remember in front of a full house here in Sydney.
Live to Matt Carmichael at NG Stadium. Matt, this was almost one of the great comebacks.
Oh, Angie and Michael, it's what we love and hate about sport and everything else in between, all in one here in this football game this afternoon, wasn't it? How about the Giants? They're dropping to a 42-point deficit in that third quarter. And in that charge that they went on to draw level early in the last quarter, it had this place, 20,500 people, as loud as you'll ever hear 20,000 people. We had hopes. Toby Green had that kick to put them in front. It wasn't to be for the Giants. So a tough year for them with a lot of injury and a lot of adversity. They go out at this stage, so no Sydney team left in the AFL finals. But what we did see here today with the atmosphere, particularly with the crowd, many still here having a kick on the ground. If you don't think people in Sydney and Western Sydney love this football club, think again. They are right behind the Giants. Probably the one disappointing thing in the crowd, seeing the Prime Minister from Sydney in a Hawthorn scarf. But anyway, never mind, Albo. Back with all the rest of the day's sport later. There's plenty happening. All the NRL, and what about the Wallabies too? Yeah, quite incredible. How that third quarter was so good, but they just couldn't hang on. Oh, unbelievable. All right, Matty, thank you. We'll talk to you later. Time to check the weather now with Paul Caddack. And Paul, a very nice spring weekend so far.
Michael, it sure has been, and a little warmer than forecast too. It was a golden start to the day for the city and across the suburbs, with only a scattering of cloud breaking up those blue skies. The city reaching a top of 21 degrees just after 1 o'clock this afternoon, just as those northeasterly winds were picking up, getting to 22 degrees in the west after 3:30. Clear weather shared across much of the state, cooler than average in the northeast and much warmer in the far west, topping 30 degrees. Here's the high, keeping things dry and sunny while also delivering those northeasterly winds. What that means for tomorrow, your full Father's Day forecast is coming up.
Right, thank you, Paul. See you soon. A firebug's painful getaway. Next, ram raid and arson before the suspect leaves with a souvenir.
China with sights on our phones and water, according to a former spy chief.
The royal family mourns the Duchess of Kent, who rewrote the rules.
Inside the new Penrith hub shaping champions of the future, that's at 6:30.
And after sport, spot the difference, a taste test for supermarket home brands. Detectives are hoping this video will help them catch a Central Coast firebug. The security pictures show a Mazda BT50 pulling up to a Tuggerah tyre and auto business. The crooks ramming their way inside before dousing the property in fluid. Then the flames take hold. It happened in March, the business suffering serious damage, and it's no wonder. There were no injuries except this, perhaps, the suspect leaving with a souvenir, a leg on fire as he made his getaway. A respected former intelligence chief says Chinese hackers have moved much closer to threatening critical Australian infrastructure like our telcos and even water supplies.
Recently retired Signals Directorate boss Rachel Noble has told 7 News infrastructure businesses must check for a cyber threat new to Australia.
Cyber agencies know it as Salt Typhoon, China-based hackers who've targeted foreign telecommunications for at least 6 years.
Today's release is a milestone in the Salt Typhoon story.
America's FBI just last week among global authorities sounding an alarm. So too our Signals Directorate, ASD, acknowledging for the first time the Salt Typhoon cluster has turned up in Australia.
If it's in one telco, that's a very serious issue for our country.
Could they shut down a telco?
That is entirely possible.
Rachel Noble led ASD for 5 years. She was in charge last year as US authorities warned Chinese hackers were positioning to potentially wreak havoc on American energy, transport, even water.
This is truly an everything, everywhere, all at once scenario.
The chlorine levels would have been able to be adjusted on water, for example, which would have the effect of poisoning the water.
The ex-cyber intelligence boss says the Signals Directorate has technical advice for Australian businesses to spot and deal with Salt Typhoon.
It really is a very important call to action for our private sector.
As China paraded its military hardware this week, others saw a threat just as intimidating but hidden.
No other country gets anywhere close to the People's Republic of China in terms of the cyber threat to Australia.
Tim Lester, 7 News.
And for more on Tim's quite fascinating story, you can find out the latest episode of The Issue wherever you get your podcasts. The royal family is mourning the death of Catherine the Duchess of Kent. The wife of the cousin of the late Queen Elizabeth was best known for her long association with Wimbledon, famously consoling Jana Novotná after her loss in the 1993 final. A year later, she courted controversy by converting to Roman Catholicism, becoming the first British royal to do so since King Charles II in 1685. The Duchess of Kent died at home in Kensington Palace, surrounded by her family. She was 92.
This plane either pulled up too late or just in time, depending how you look at it. The pilot of the small jet overran the runway in Florida, only brought to a stop by the airport's bed of crushable material designed exactly for incidents like this. It's all that stopped the plane from careering onto a busy road.
Plenty more still to come here on 7 News. Penrith leading the way, a new high-tech community hub, the first of many.
Harley riders with hearts of gold, the good cause fueling their ride.
Revealed the State Library makeover for hundreds of years to come.
A Father's Day surprise for an Aussie air traffic controller and his pilot son.
Off and racing at the Melbourne Cup of the Outback.
Swooping attack of footy umpire copping abuse from every angle.
And ahead in sport, Penrith back winning with their stars on song, eyeing another finals charge.
Future Olympians living in Western Sydney just got a major boost with a brand new state-of-the-art training facility.
The Penrith Centre has gymnastics at its heart, but aims to be much more to the local community.
It's Western Sydney's newest place to... and...
Beautiful!
And... Penrith's old YMCA now replaced with the Y, the kind of place Olympic gymnast Emma Nedov had her start.
I was just a 5-year-old girl that went to gymnastics for a little bit of fun. I wouldn't be standing here as an Olympian if it wasn't for what the YMCA provided.
There's a huge demand for this, so we wanted to make a multi-million-dollar investment into Penrith and into the community.
In just a few weeks, a former Mexican restaurant transformed.
We love coming here. It's been a great opportunity to have all the facilities here now in Penrith. Ruby's coach is absolutely amazing. We love her.
3 days a week for 4 hours, so that's 12 hours each week. It's really fun.
And today, the grand opening.
They're off computers, they're off their phones, and they're playing with their friends. Is fantastic. It's exactly what Western Sydney needs.
That opportunity to grow their skills and actually become that next world champion.
According to the Y, it's an investment that's paying off, with the brand new facility already attracting a big spike in interest and people through the door.
This is a classic build it and they will come. We have 1,500 gymnasts coming through here each week, and we think we could fit more and more.
Beyond gymnastics, there's space for basketball, teaching courses, the Y's alternative to school suspension program, a true community hub, it says, and a model for more across Sydney. Paul Karak, 7 News.
Thousands of Harley-Davidson enthusiasts have taken to the road today for charity. The event, United We Ride, saw up to 3,000 motorbike riders involved across Australia and New Zealand. It's all to show their support for people doing it tough. So far, they've raised $150,000 for the Salvation Army.
The UK's Deputy Prime Minister has been forced to quit after admitting to underpaying stamp duty on her new seaside home.
I have alerted and referred myself to the independent advisor on the ministerial code to ensure that they can look transparently at what's happened.
An independent advisor finding Angela Rayner had breached the ministerial code. It's the 7th resignation in Keir Starmer's government, 14 months after winning power, with a promise to stop the chaos. A homeowner has kept his cool during a terrifying break-in in the US. A wild boar smashing through sliding glass doors before attacking a pet dog who was injured but survived. The wild animal standing its ground inside the house before turning its attention to police.
Easy. Easy. You better stop it.
Officers were able to remove the boar from the property before it ran into the woods.
It's a Father's Day surprise that very few could match. One young pilot who only just earned his wings made an unexpected radio call to his air traffic controller dad for permission to drop in at Melbourne's Tullamarine Airport.
Melbourne Tower, Mike Lima Tango. G'day, Dad.
An unexpected radio call working as an air traffic controller isn't often good news.
Mike Lima Tango, Melbourne Tower. Hello, son.
But this one was close to home for Andrew Alston at work in the Melbourne Tower with his son Daniel circling above Tullamarine.
Brakes are released, undercarriage fixed.
While the proud father was well aware his son just graduated from the Qantas Pilot Training Academy,
And flaps are up for landing.
he didn't know Daniel was coming in to land.
Wind 270 degrees, 8 knots. Runway 34 cleared to land.
When I spotted the plane on the radar, then I realised something was going on.
A surprise months in the making for a moment Daniel had dreamed of.
Not often you get a Qantas 737 holding short for you.
But there was some feedback that could only come from family.
That's about a 6 out of 10. Well done. It felt better in the plane.
Was that a bit harsh? I think so. I think it was pretty good.
Feedback perhaps fair following more than 3 decades working in Melbourne air traffic control.
Every day at Melbourne Tower we deal with 700 to 800 movements.
Being able to sequence a single-engine propeller plane in with jet aircraft that have over 200 passengers on board is quite an effort, but Air Services made it work really well and they did a great job at it.
After a guided tour of the tarmac,
I hear my dad laughing in the background.
it was back in the air.
After departing, you know, the big smile on my face of that was a really cool experience.
I'm very, very proud. Definitely a proud dad moment considering it's Father's Day coming up as well.
Hope Wilson, 7 News.
6 out of 10. Dad's tough but fair.
That's harsh. Great story.
It is.
Well, and even fire warnings won't stop the party. Just ahead, record crowds, rowdy and colourful, flock to the Birdsville races.
First look, the State Library's $27 million spruce up.
A blind test to decide the best between home and big brands.
And it's sport live from NG Stadium. The Roosters all set as the great finals wildcard.
A bold new vision for the State Library has been given the green light for development. The current forecourt will double in size, making for a 3,000 square metre public domain with native plants, public art and a lawn for community events. It's all part of a plan to reinvigorate Macquarie Street and the library precinct for the next 200 years. It's dubbed the Melbourne Cup of the Outback, and this weekend Queensland's Birdsville Races celebrates 143 years.
Despite an extreme fire danger warning, racegoers haven't been deterred from making the journey to one of the country's most remote towns.
A century-long meet of dirt, dust and plenty of punters. The annual Birdsville Races coming alive in this tiny outback town, swelling it to nearly 60 times its size.
It's about getting out here, putting on whatever the hell you want and having a good time.
With as many horses racing as the town's usual population, a win can be had on and off its claypan track.
It takes some originality and a little bit of humour.
Same goes for the journey out.
So I bought a limo, some of the other boys bought a maxi taxi with 1.1 million Ks on it.
A long trek once done by horse and cart and vintage vehicles The drive to Birdsville from Brisbane is around 1,700 kilometres. Adelaide, 1,500, Melbourne and Sydney just shy of 2,000, and Darwin almost 2.5. Fred Brophy knows these roads well, but this will be his last time in Birdsville after 43 years of entertaining the heart of Australia.
It's a big event and you're part of it once you load your horse in the float and you start heading off.
Samantha Cheney, 7 News.
Over 100 people have chosen to sleep rough in Sydney's west to raise money for homelessness. The sleep out was organised by the not-for-profit Link Wentworth. Police spent the night at Penrith Sydney International Regatta Centre, camping out in swags and sleeping bags. $300,000 has been raised, all going to social housing projects and women's shelters.
Home brands bigger than ever, but do they pass the taste test? Still to come, how supermarket favourites stack up.
And an angry bird who doesn't like umpires swooping in at the worst possible time. Don't miss that story shortly here on 7 News.
First, Matt's back with sport from NG Stadium. Matt, another finals heartbreak for the Giants.
Needed that bird here at the footy tonight, Michael and Angie. But anyway, they almost pulled off a miracle comeback, but the Giants couldn't get over the line against Hawthorn. Their year's now over. That is next. Plus, the Panthers take care of the Dragons. Now the Wounded Warriors are waiting in the finals. And the Wallabies do it at the death in a comeback classic against Argentina. Welcome back to NG Stadium. The Giants' finals heartbreaker soon. First for the NRL, and the Warriors will be looking over their shoulders at the Panthers. The reigning premiers locked in for an elimination final in Auckland next week. A rejuvenated Penrith warming up with a 20-point win over the Dragons.
14 players fresh after a rest, but without a win for 3 weeks. The Panthers making a statement ahead of finals inside 5 minutes.
It goes on there across to Jenkins, and he puts it down.
Lindsay Smith didn't miss. Nathan Cleary's cutout pass finding Paul Alamotti. 10-0 Panthers. 24 hours after becoming a dad, early Father's Day gifts for Kyle Flanagan.
A little rock of the baby.
Dom Jenkins turned provider for Casey McLean as the Panthers went back-to-back. Half-time 22-6 Penrith, the top Pink Panther getting a green light.
Cleary's there.
Having beaten finalists Canberra and Cronulla, a Dragons comeback beckoned, snuffed out by Cleary. 40 points to 20 Panthers. Next, an elimination final in Auckland against the Warriors.
I think we've been managed well this back end of the season. And yeah, we've got no excuse to just hit the finals, all guns blazing, and yeah, see what we can do.
All the teams in there will be very nervous coming up against them, and I wouldn't be writing them off for 5.
Andrew McKinlay, 7 News.
Like the Dragons, no finals action for the Titans or Tigers, but Jerome Luai's bomb was brought down brilliantly by Jareen Buller. More good signs for next season. 18-year-old schoolboy Hamasi Makasini scoring on debut. Half-time, 28-12 Tigers in Des Hasler's last game as Titans coach. The Sharks are their first target, but every finals rival will be very nervous about the Roosters. The Warriors limp into their home eliminator against the Panthers after defeat in DCE Fest at Brookvale. The Chooks dealt with the Rabbitohs to fly into the finals. Remember the round 1 thrashing at home by the Broncos, the 2 from 7 start.
We're not trying to build up. You know, you said we couldn't do anything. We haven't really. We're just trying to be the best team we can possibly be.
Rugby convert Mark Nawangini Tawasa has 24 tries, 22 games in his first full season. Who would have thought? Praise for that other code.
There's some things that we can learn from the freedom of their play, and if any other ones want to come over, then they're more than welcome.
Piling on points with James Tedesco, a former Australian captain in career best form. No one's safe. The Rabbitohs can wave goodbye to a horror year of injuries and hope for what's ahead of the likes of Jai Gray and Ashton Ward.
Hopefully we'll change the ways next year, and there's no use for looking back on it and feeling sorry for yourself.
The cherry on top of 15 years, 352 games for Manly. DCE's 29th field goal and 1-point win.
Just an overwhelming amount of really good feelings and positive support.
That'll change if and when Cherry Evans is back in a Roosters jersey next year.
I might not be finishing here, which is a lot of people's wishes. but I'm going to finish my career how I want to finish it.
The Warriors start the finals so unconvincing, it's apparently a tactic.
No one really respects us. I actually love that.
The Giants' season is over after falling short of an epic comeback against Hawthorn in their elimination final here at NG Stadium. From 42 points down, the Giants almost snatched an incredible win but ran out of steam, and they exit the season.
The Orange Army marching en masse. Elimination final, no room for error. Hogan, Stringer and Kelly back from injury, but the Giants' slow starts won't go away. No one stands the mark, so he waltzes to 49, pulls the trigger! The first 4 goals all the way of the Hawks. The Giants needed a spark. They got it from their running man, Finn Callahan. 48 metres out, he went low and hard. A first half goal fest where only the best will do. Speedster Darcy Jones kicked truly from 50, but his day quickly turned into a nightmare. A suspected torn ACL, the 21-year-old in tears, his coach devastated, the Hawks flying. Up by 28 at half-time, then 42 midway through the third. Game over? Think again. He can snap goal! He can kick another one! Out of nowhere, the Orange Tsunami at full strength. 6 straight goals in 8 minutes, only one the difference at the last break. Hogan made it 7 in a row, the Giants briefly led, but their run ran out. The Hawks kicked the next 3, enough for a semi-final berth with Adelaide. Heartbreak for the Giants, their season over. James Manton, 7 News.
And Giants coach Adam Kingsley just spoke moments ago.
Finals are about moments. They took more moments than we did. I think we have got the pieces, but introducing 3 boys in with 2 guys in our best team not playing tonight, I'm not sure we're quite at our best. I think we were still in really good shape, but not quite at our best, and I think we need to be at our best at this time of year, and we have been in the past.
Geelong sit and wait for the Hawks or Adelaide in the preliminary final after thumping Brisbane by 38 points at the MCG last night. The reigning premiers lost dual Brownlow medalist Lachie Neale to a calf injury. The Lions will host a semi-final against the winner of Freo and the Suns tonight. Full of fight and grit, the Wallabies pulled off an incredible comeback to beat Argentina in the Rugby Championship. 21-7 down at halftime in Townsville, Joseph Sua'ali'i dragged the Aussies back into it with 2 tries. Trailing the Pumas by 3 in the 86th minute, Tars prop Angus Bell was the hero. 28-24 Wallabies and to the top of the standings for now. Prolific Nottingham Forest striker Chris Wood couldn't find a way past 30-year-old rookie Socceroo keeper Paul Izzo, and fellow rookie Max Ballard hit the winner in last night's Soccer Ashes opener in Canberra.
Against Barbarouses, good ball into the area, Ballard! What a debut!
2 minutes into Ballard's international career. Sam Kerr's injury comeback will have to wait. The Matildas captain was an unused substitute in Chelsea's Women's Super League opener against Manchester City. Aussie teammate Ellie Carpenter made an instant impact on Blues debut, assisting the first goal in their 2-1 win. Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz will face off in a 3rd straight Grand Slam final in the US Open decider. World number 1 Sinner beat Felix Auger-Aliassime in 4 sets. Alcaraz cruised past 24-time Grand Slam champ Novak Djokovic in 3, adding another chapter to their incredible rivalry.
The last 3 matches, I'm going to take note and I will see what I did wrong, what I did great.
We've played quite a lot this year, so we know each other very well.
I lost 3 out of 4 slams in semis against these guys, so they're just too good.
They've won 8 of the past 9 slams between them. So, Michael and Angie, everyone's packed up and gone home here from NG. Yeah. It's a shame. We thank Toby Green and the Giants. They've been wonderful to us at 7 News this season, of course.
And there's always next season. They'll come back stronger, hopefully, Maddie. All right.
Absolutely.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Maddie.
Well, supermarket home brands now claim a bigger slice of our weekly shop than ever before. They're also delivering retailers big profits.
But do they taste the same as big brand favourites? We put them to the test.
In 1980, a budget brand was unveiled.
The packaging is plain, stark, quite dull and uninteresting.
A stripped-back design with a simple promise: the products are cheaper.
There are 28 in all.
4 decades later, nearly all Australian households have bought a home brand product.
No Frills was a bit of a no-go, but now it's full of flavour.
We had shoppers put that to the taste test without knowing which was which.
This one's got a sort of creamy saltiness to it.
It was a clean sweep for cheese, all preferred cheer.
Which one did you like? This one?
Yeah, the one I'm used to. I could taste.
With Hot Chips, McCain won the majority. Only Debbie liked Black and Gold better.
I just found the texture a little bit more enjoyable.
For dessert, ice cream. And again, Peter's was the favourite.
Very creamy and lots of like deep vanilla taste.
Up to half of customers don't even know the difference.
Supermarkets have been slowly increasing home brand products which cost less to produce and deliver bigger profits. At Coles and Woolworths, they make up about 30%, a figure retail experts say will only increase.
So there has been some growth and there's more to come. If you look at the EU, for example, they're in the mid-40s.
We can create a sustainable relationship between those manufacturers and farmers and suppliers while still putting forward a great price.
Georgia Holland, 7 News.
An AFL umpire was ducking for cover after becoming the target of a swooping magpie during a football match in suburban Brisbane. Repeated attacks from the angry bird sent the official running during preliminary final. Didn't hurt the home team, which advanced to their grand final.
Poor umpires always copping it, aren't they?
They are tough.
Can't take a trick. All right, Paul's back with Sydney's weather now. How's it looking for Father's Day, Paul?
Well, Michael, a good day to pack a picnic or really do anything outdoors with a very sunny Sunday on the way. Details next.
Tomorrow on Weekend Sunrise, feel better in under 5 minutes. Practical solutions for back pain relief. Plus, why Daggy Dads are back this Father's Day. And Australia's puppy therapy, the furry phenomenon taking over major cities. That's tomorrow from 7 a.m.
Good evening. The first spring weekend serving up a very nice Saturday with Sunday looking just as good. The city reaching a warmer than expected high of 21 degrees just after 1 p.m. A top shared by most suburbs with 21 at Liverpool, Parramatta, Camden and Cronulla, getting to 22 degrees at Penrith and Richmond. Now we have this high that's setting as these north-easterly winds that we've had today and keeping conditions clear across much of the state, while over in the Bight, a low and cold front is bringing showers and storms to South Australia. Now tomorrow, that front will cross southern New South Wales with a damaging wind warning for the Snowy Mountains tomorrow afternoon, with another front expected on Tuesday set to bring rain to Sydney. Around Australia tomorrow for the capitals, Brisbane, partly cloudy and 23, a possible late shower for Canberra and 22, showers for Melbourne and 22, looking wet for Hobart and 19, just a morning shower for Adelaide and 23, showers for Perth and 17, Darwin, a shower or two and 34. Statewide tomorrow for the south and the west of the state, scattered showers and thunderstorms as that front crosses. Storms could be severe. Dry and mostly sunny elsewhere, staying warm in the far west. 23 the top for Wagga Wagga and Tamworth, sunny for Wollongong and 23, sunshine too for Newcastle and a top of 25. For Sydney tomorrow, Father's Day, and along with maybe a new pair of socks, a tie, even a whippersnipper, dads will be getting a sunny day. Actually, looking more like a summer's day. 27 the top for Penrith. That'll be the warmest day in 5 months. 26 the top for Fairfield, Bankstown, Campbelltown, Hornsby, 25. Northeasterly winds becoming fresh around midday, and on the coast, 24 is expected at Manly, 22 for Bondi. On coastal waters, there's a strong wind warning for the Sydney coast, with northerly winds reaching up to 30 knots in the evening. For the city, one word, sunny. Down to 11 degrees tonight before a top of 24 tomorrow with fresh afternoon northeasterlies. Getting even warmer Monday, up to 29 degrees in the west, 27 in the city. Then a rainy change Tuesday with showers most likely in the evening, continuing right through Wednesday, finally clearing Thursday afternoon, knocking temperatures back to the low 20s. But tomorrow, enjoy a sunny, happy Father's Day.
Looks absolutely perfect. Thank you, Paul. And that's 7 News for this Saturday. We'll have updates for you throughout the evening.
From all of our 7 News team, thanks so much for your company. Have a great Saturday night.
Good night.